how to make this blouse here is I made it as I went 10 500 with 6.5 balls, almost 7 balls. Okay, it was a lot. I consider this one a size M. Yes, it was a lot of wool due to the braids she has. I'll show you up close. So this wool, these braids that we made here are all sleeves. It just makes you spend a little more wool, right? So here I spent almost 7 skeins to weave this piece, and look how beautiful it is, okay? So I'm going to step back here so you can visualize the whole piece. I'm going to turn my back here. I did her well, let go, okay? I did a play. It's very wide, very loose. Oh, the sleeve is very wide. Then only at the end did I make a fist here to give a funiladinha to close it a little. It's then this piece, it's woven in a different way. It's woven, it's a whole piece, you do everything at once, and the only thing is you just sew, join it down here and here. It's just a whole piece, whole piece. So it's me. So I used La Mole Tex 500 skeins of 100 G. I used almost 7 skeins. I will show you, this is left here. Oh, from the 7th skein, less than half, is then almost 7 skeins. And the needle number 3.5 to weave this piece. So it was very beautiful, very warm, well closed, okay? So during the step-by-step class, I'm going to explain to you how to take the measurements, how you do everything right. There's the drawing explaining how to weave it whole, right? I'm even going to show you, advance here a little bit for you. It's woven like this here, okay? So it's a very different format, but throughout the video class, I'll explain it to you clearly, okay? So look at the detail of the braids. I hope you liked it. Yes, and let's go with the step-by-step class to weave this blouse. I will use the Mole de A Novelles 100 gram with Tex 500 and Sao Novelles 200 M. The wool is 100% acrylic, and I suggest here a crochet needle size 2 to 2.5. Okay, so this is the wool I'm going to use. Its color is 9649 Anato, so it's a very beautiful color like that. It's a mix of earthy colors that will look really cool. The needle I'm going to use is a size 3.5 needle, okay? To use a little bit bigger, they're suggested on the label of the wool because I have the tension of the stitch very tight. So I think it will be nice to knit with a slightly thicker needle. It is then the amount of wool I still do not know. I will weave the blouse, and then at the end I pass to you exactly the amount of wool that I will use to weave the whole piece. So let's go to the step-by-step of this blouse, that it will be woven in one piece. It will be woven whole. There will be no. It's a lot of sewing, okay? It's a very different way to weave, and it will look really cool. So let's go step by step. Before I teach myself step by step in class, I'm going to explain how I take the measurements here, okay? To start the piece, so for you to start, you have to take 3 measurements, and these 3 measurements, you take the largest one that has no errors in your piece, so you can have an option to take it from shoulder to shoulder. Right? It is a measurement option, the bust circumference and the belly or hip circumference here, depending on where you want to leave your piece. So you're going to take the A's, take the 3 measurements, and take the largest one. In my case, my largest measurement is here of the bust, which will give 100 centimeters. That's my biggest measure, 100 centimeters, yeah. Then I will weave the front and back piece separately. So I will have to weave 50 centimeters forward and 50 centimeters back. So my chain cord to start, I will have to be 50 centimeters, right? Because it gave 100 here. The other measurement you need to take is here of the circumference of the shoulder, so you can take the measurement of the sleeve. It's from the pit here on the mango, right? So my measurement was 40 centimeters because I came down here. Oh, you can take a measuring tape and put it here on top of your shoulder and go down to the 2 fingers below your armpit, okay? Make it more comfortable that the blouse doesn't get caught here under the arm. So leave the 2 fingers, 3 depending on your taste. It depends on the size of the mango cavity you want to leave. So mine here, gave 40 centimeters. You can put the little end of the measuring tape here and circle and stop with the other end here. That's 40 centimeters. Or you can put the little end of the measuring tape over your shoulder and stop here. In my case, I put it over here, I went over here, it was 20 centimeters, so I added up because there's the other side, so 20 plus 20 and 40 centimeters apart, right? Aya, sleeve, AA, collar. I always, from there, you see where you want to leave mine. I always leave here 20 centimeters right at the beginning of this bone here. Of the neck. Leaves a little space between the neck. Depending if you want more closed, you can measure the size of the neck a little more or a little more open, like that from shoulder to shoulder. Then it's at your discretion, you choose, and then you make the measurement. Mine here, I put it right at the beginning of this little bone here. The clavicle, the soap dish here, as they say, right? It's 8 inches. So I always use this measurement for my blouses, right? And you will also need to know the size of the arm to make the sleeve. Normally we take the measurement with our arm bent like this. Because if you have your arm stretched out, you take the measurement from here. Then when you're going to bend your arm, you're going to raise the piece. Then you have to have a niece, okay? Because when you bend the arm, the piece doesn't rise much and the wrist is short, so normally you take the measurement of the arm like this, with it half turned like here. Then you take it like this and like this. Then there's no mistake, your play won't be short, okay? So always take it off with the arm, more double like this, so that there is no error in the length of the sleeve. I didn't take my measurement here, but this is how you take it. You put the measuring tape up here, come up here, from here you hold it and go down as far as you want. The length there is your sleeve. So that's how I basically take the measure. That's for everyone. All sizes of child, adult or senior is the same way to take the measure. That always take is bigger. Then your piece here won't be wrong, because sometimes the person has a big bust and you take the measurement by the shoulder, then the blouse is right here, or they have a bigger belly, you take it here from shoulder to shoulder, then it is right here on the belly. So this way, there's no mistake, everything will be loose, everything will fit the piece. Alright, so these are the steps to get you started. So I'm going to make a cord of 50 centimeters chains, because here my circumference was 100, so I'm going to make the front first and then the back. So the front with 50 centimeters is to make this piece. I need even numbered chains, okay? Countless pairs. I made a cord here with 75 little chains because I made an extra one to gain height, right? So you make even numbers of chains and then you add one more to gain height. So I need 74 to make my 50 centimeter work, but I made one more to gain height. So I have 75, it's basic chains here. I used a slightly larger needle to make my chain cord so that it is larger, easier to insert the stitch so that it is not tight, because later when I start weaving from there, it is very tight, it will open up, work like this, it is tight underneath. So I made a string of chains here with a number 5 needle, okay? I made my 75 little chains. And then I'm going to start weaving with my 3.5 needle. So here I have it. So don't forget to make even number chains, okay? Mine gave 74 here to reach 50 centimeter. And I did another one to gain height, so I have 75. Now I'm going to make a half high point. Oh, I give the loop, and oh, I'm going on the second chain, this one that I won and made to gain height in this one. I go in with the needle the second time and do half a high point. Oh, and take everything out at once here. I go in the next time and do half a high point. So for now, we will only work with half high points. Oh, I'll take it all off at once. I enter here in the next basic chain and do my half high point. Oh, I take them all at once and the career will stay like this. Oh, half point, half high point. I'll weave here. Oh, the whole career. Oh, half high point. So I weave until the end of my career like this, only half a high point, oh, until I get there at the end. Then I'll come back with you to show you how we're going to do the rest of the careers, right? So let's go. For each base stitch, I made a half high stitch and I'm weaving like this until I get there. In the end, I'll be back with you as soon as I finish my career. I finished my career. Oh, I did it all with half high points, the 74 points. I get to the end, I make 2 chains, which is equivalent to half a high point. Oh, and I turn the work around and I'm going to do it. I will continue to knit half high stitch. Oh, I don't do this one because there are already several chains here. Here I go to the next one and do half a high point, half a high point. Oh, in each space here. Oh, in each. I do half a high point. So the work will be like this, only half a point high. Until I reach the height, I need to start the braids. Half a point high that way. So each stitch is half a high stitch. I will weave mine here until I reach the end of my career. Then I'll come back with you and give you the other explanations. It gets like this. The career gets like this detail here from the middle high point, oh, that way, until you get there at the end. So I'm going to weave mine and I'll be back with you to show you. What are we going to do now? Next, if you are enjoying the video of your like, subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, don't forget to turn on notifications so you know when I post a new video. So I'm going to go downstairs and be right back with you guys. I'm almost here at the end of my career. Oh, so I'm going to weave my high stitches, and here the last one I'm only going to do here at this point. Remember that the chain was only 1 to gain height, so I'm not going down there on the chain. Oh, I'm going to stop here at the point. This little chain I had made was just to gain height. Oh, it stayed like that. So I have here my 74 stitches knitted. Remembering that this play, look at it, his career became very big, is it? Remembering that this piece is, I'm not weaving with the bar. Now after I sew, then yes, I will make the bar. For now, I'm going to weave it, okay? Oh, so I come here and make 2 little chains and turn my work around. If you want, you can also do it with high points. These careers are no problem. Stay there at your discretion. Okay, So these 2 chains already equals 1 point. So I'm not going down here, I'm going here next time, and I'm doing my means here. High stitches, oh, and I'm weaving this way. Until I reach it, I'll see exactly how many centimeters I need, but it's there until close to reaching the armpit a little earlier, okay? You take the measurement. So where do you want me to stay from? The blouse without the bar up to the height, it's more or less down there here. So I'm going to show it here in my drawing, up to more or less here. Oh, in this measure, in this line here that I did. First, before reaching the no, in the breast here, it's under the arm here, a bit like that. Oh, I think it gives about 4 fingers under the arm, then you stop. So you're going to weave this much here, oh, like this, more or less from here. In this case, up to here, just this piece here, I'm going to weave mine until more or less reaching that point here. Oh, then I'll come back to you. I'll say, so I'm weaving from here, I'll weave up here, oh, somewhat here, oh, under the arm, oh, so up here, more or less, I'll weave. I'll be right back. I pass on to you the measure and the amount of careers I have weaved, certain of only half high points. Then you choose if you want to make half a high point, if you want to make a high point. Then it's up to you if you want to put another point there, no problem, as long as it's the number of even numbers in the career to make the braid work at the top, right? Because then when we stop, I'll come back with you to teach you how to do the braid, okay? So I'm just gonna weave my careers, that's all, okay? Text half high point until you reach the end. I reach the end, I make 2 chains, turn the work, and half high point on top of half high point. Right, until you get to the scale that I showed you. So I'll do it. When I get there, I'll come back and show you exactly how it turned out. I do it, I take the measurements, the number of careers, and explain the sequence of the blouse. I'm back here. Do you have enough rows woven to start braiding? I'll show you here in centimeters I stayed with. It's 23 centimeters in careers. I did 26 careers. The important thing here is that you always stop at the even number row so that the braid is on the right side. So yeah, I stopped at career 26, an even numbered career, no matter the amount, because it depends on the DA. Of the material you are using, sometimes it gives more careers, fewer careers, so it's important to stop at the even numbered career. So I stopped at row number 26. So here my wire is on hold, okay? And I weaved 26 rows, a total of 23 centimeters. Now I will start my braids. How am I going to do it? Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in here so you can get a better view. Well, I hit my camera to lower it a little more here. At the end, I'm gonna have to make 3 chains because now I'm gonna work with a high point. Yeah, let me just adjust here. I had a way back here, so finish the career. Here I make 3 chains. I'll show you what I thought was beautiful. It's the detail that was formed. I don't know if it will be able to visualize well because it is doing so some reliefs. This half high point was very cute. I liked the result. Look, it's like a relief here. Oh, from one career to another. It's really cute. So now resuming here. Yeah, I made the 3 chains that equals, it's a high point, right? So what this one equals is the first point, and I'm going to skip the second. Oh, I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to the next one. I make a high point. Oh, take it out 2 times. I make a little chain, and I'll come back here. Oh, at this point that I jumped, and I'm going to do my puff stitch. Oh, as if I were going to make a high stitch. Oh, I give the loop, I enter this point here. Oh, and I don't finish. Oh, if I leave it on the needle once, I go again 2 times, and I go again 3 times. You can do 3 to 4 times. Oh, and take all the loops off once I did it 3 times. So I was left with 1,234,567 loops here on my needle. Now, yes, I will be able to take everyone out at once. Oh, get out here. And now I'm going to make a little chain to hold them all together. This one here I had already made a high point. Look at it here. So now I'm going to skip the next one and I'm going to this one. Oh, I'm going to make a high stitch. I'm going to make a little chain and I'm going to make a puff stitch here. Where did I jump? Huh? It makes, oh, like I'm going to make a high point, but I don't finish. I'm going again. I leave it very loose to be fluffy here once. 2x 3 times. You can do up to 4 times if you want. I have my 7 loops here. I'm going to take them all off at once. Now I take them all off at once, a chain. Oh, and it's getting like this here. Oh. This right here is one side of our chain, okay? From our braid, from our braid. So here I had made the high point on it here. I jump this one here, and well, on this one I make my high point, oh, high point, a little chain, and I'm going to make my puff point here where I jumped. I come back here, oh, and I throw the needle here, I come in here. Like, I'm gonna make a high point, I bring it up here, and I don't finish. I go again in the same space 2 times, and again in the same space 3 times. I take out all 7, take out little roasts at once, and make a little chain to hold them together, and it's getting that way. Here's our puff point that will turn later, 11 braid. So here, I skip this one and go to this one. I make a high stitch, a chain, and come back where I jumped and make my puff stitch, a loop. I enter here to make a high point 3 times in the same space. Once, 2, x 3 times, take off the 7 loops at once. Arrest everything. I'll get more wire and you'll keep doing it until you get there at the end of your career. I'll leave it loose, okay? Jump the next one and good. On the other one, oh, I jump this one and good. On this high point, chain and come back here. Where I jumped and do my puff point once, 2x 3 times, very loose. Take my 77. A little chain is thrown to hold everyone down, and I'll do the next one. So I keep doing this until I get to the end of my career, right? When I get there, I'll come back to show you how it turned out and explain how we're going to do the next career, which will then form our very beautiful braid and this beautiful detail in our piece. Don't forget to make the little chain here so they can all learn together, right? So we keep doing this until we reach the end of our career. I'll finish mine here and I'll be right back with you. I've been coming down my whole career. As I explained to you, I'm getting here at the end. I'm going to show you what we're like. It ends here. So I did here. Oh, at that point, I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to this one, then this one. Oh. Let me just organize. I'll show you that right here, okay? So here. Oh, just for 3 points, here I skip this one, I go on this one. I make a high stitch, a little chain, and I'm going to make a puff stitch here where I jumped. Looped once, looped twice, looped 3 times. I'll take them all off at once, just one little chain, and I'll do it here. The last high point here is in the loops here from point O. That's how my career went. Now I make 3 little chains that equals 1 high point, and I'm going to turn my work. Let Let me organize it here. I'll turn the job around. Let me just pull it away a little bit. I think it'll look better here. I'll turn over the work and I'm going to finish mine now. I'm going to do it here. Oh, you want to see, oh, a high point? Well, here in this space between one people and another, I'll make a high point. I make a little chain and I'm going to come back here. Oh, and I'm going to make a puff stitch right here. Oh, between the high stitch and the puff stitch. Okay, oh, here looped, once looped, twice looped, 3 times very loosely. I take them all off at once, a little chain to hold on. Oh. Now I'm going to make a high point. Oh, well, here in this space. Oh, because here we had done it previously. Oh, between one puff and another. Now, here in this space, between one puff and another, I'm going to make a high point. I'm going to make a high point. I'm going to make a chain, and I'm going to make a point. Poof. Well, here, oh, where I had done the high point, oh, I give a little advance. Here, oh, I do the point, poof, once, twice. 3 times, I take it all off at once. A little chain to hold it, oh, and it stayed like this. So here on this side, inside out, you won't visualize it properly, but later you will see that it will look very beautiful. So now I skip these here, because here I had made the high point. I'll take this one and make the high point, a chain, and I'm going to come back here where I had done the high stitch previously, and I'm going to do the puff stitch. Oh, once 2x 3 times I finish a chain. Oh, here is the reverse side, and the right side is getting, look how beautiful the chain is forming. Here the braid, sorry, it's forming the braid. It will add a very beautiful detail to the piece. Oh, I'll skip this one and go for this one. I make the highlight. A chain is the same way we were working, but now between one and another, oh, here 3x1 chain. I skip this one. I go at this high point, a little chain, and I come back here between one people and another, once 2x 3 times. I take everything off at once, a little chain. I skip this one. I go at this high point, a little chain, and I come back here and do the point people once. Two checks 3 times. I take everything off at once, a little chain. I jump this, I go on this high point, little chain. I come back here once, 2 kicks 3 times. I take everything off at once, a little chain. And so you go to the end of your career. This side is not so visible. The braid, but the other side will look really nice. I'm going to finish my career this way, okay? When I get there, at the end, I'll come back with you so we can continue. I'm almost at the end of my career. See how it turned out? And now I'm going to show how we finish here, here. Oh, jump here and go here. Oh, between the high point of the beginning and the puff, I make the high point, a little chain, and I'm going to make the puff point here between one puff and another. Oh, once, 2x 3 times. A chain, and here I do the third chain here. Oh, a high point to end the career. So I finish my career. I'm going to show you here how it turned out. I'm going to zoom in here. Oh, it's the reverse side of our play. Look how it turned out. That's the other way around. Now if I'm going to turn here. So this right here is the right side. Look how beautiful the braids turned out, okay? So here, oh, so I know it's the right side. Oh, I have my niece here. The thread on which I made the cordon chains is on my left side. Oh, my left side, this niece here. So I'm with the right side forward. So here, the right side of the braids is this one here. That's why it's important for you to stop here. Oh, in these dot careers, even number careers to be able to give certain braids. I'm going to zoom in here for you to see. Look how it's woven here. It's still our blouse. Now, as it is woven, it is whole. I'm going to show you how we're going to do it here, because we're going to have to put chains here and here to make the sleeve. But I'm going to explain it to you now through a drawing to make it easier. So, like this, the way we are going to weave the blouse is this here. I made a drawing, but it's not very straight, but it is. That's basically it. So the part that we weave up to the braids comes here. Oh, which is the front part of the piece, up to under the arm. Is this one there? It's our front part that we weave here down to the braids, right? Now we're going to put here, oh, the chain cord up here and lower the sleeve. Oh, same thing here. We will put chains cord and weave the sleeves, so it's a unique piece. In the end, we'll just fold the sock like this, oh, and sew it here, and the piece will be ready, right? So now I'm going to explain to you how we're going to weave this part here to increase it, okay? So here is the front part. We've woven it up to the armpits, even under the arm. Now let's weave the sleeves. I'm going to teach you now how we're going to do it right. So remember that I posted in my drawing to take the measurement of the length of the arm, which is what you are going to add here. O chains. You are discounting the handle that we are going to make without the handle. Put there at the end, so you can make the chain cord shorter here. And then after sewing the piece, you're going to make a handle here, okay? That's going to increase a little bit more, so make it a little bit smaller. Sure, you're gonna be without the handle finish, right? So let's go to the step-by-step of this part here. O da manga. Now let's put the sleeve here on our piece. So I want to show you here. Oh, that it gets more open like this. Oh, it passes here a little bit. Oh, no problem. It won't get in the way, okay? It will continue with the same, it has the same amount of stitches as it has here, only it opens up a little. It's because of the puff stitches, which are much larger than this one here. Then he opens it up a little bit, but don't worry, it's not wrong. It's right, it's not well aligned here. Now I'm going to teach you how to add the chain here. I made a cord, took a thread, another skein. Right, because this one I was weaving here is on hold. Look, I didn't cut it right, so don't cut it. The one you're going to use is still here from the normal yarn I've been weaving. I took a new skein and made a cord with 57 chains. I made an odd number because our point is even, right? But here, there is a high point here, and we are going to join these chains with the high point. So I made 57 here. And if I add it up here, I'm going to have 58, right? Before the braid, so it's all right, okay? So I made a cord with 57 little chains. I'm going to zoom in now to show you. That's how we're going to attach this string of chains, which is the size of our sleeve, right? I will, wait a minute, let's see. I will bring it here very close. So you can visualize it right here. So I'm here with the end of my 57 chain cord. I'm going to adjust here, which I left wide so as not to take off. While I was explaining to you here, I'm going to do as follows. I have my chain cord on the needle and I'm going to pass here. Oh, at this high point, which is actually 3 chains that I had made to start my career, oh, I insert the needle into the 3rd chain here. Oh, and along with very low point, oh, I pass here and I pass here. Now what am I gonna do? I'm gonna cut that wire, because it was just to tie it together, okay? So the new yarn from the skein is just to make the string of chains and join. I won't cut it too big. Then I'm going to finish this thread, and I'm going to give that little loop, right? Which is a little knot. Oh, and I attached it here. Now I'm going to zoom in to show you. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Oh, it's going to be like this now. Oh, I almost drop it inside my cup of coffee, which is my string of chains. Oh, there's a string left. This here will be my sleeve that I'm going to go down now. Oh, and I attached it with a very low point here and cut the wire, and I'm going to work now on this waiting wire. What I'm going to do here is 57 little chains on this side, so I'm just holding here. Oh, I'm going to zoom in again so you can see. So I'm going to continue with what I was weaving before, with the thread that was coming here from all the work. I'll do mine. 57 chains. Oh, 21, 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to weave 57. When I reach the end of 57, I will come back with you so we can continue the work. I made my 57 chains here, so I'm going to show you how it turned out. Is it like this? And here with mine and 57, what I'm going to do now is turn it into work and continue weaving here where I left off, that I just made my trans and 57 chains. I'll zoom in so you can visualize it. What am I going to do now? I'm going to put on an extra chain, which is to gain height, okay? So, oh, after you guys turned 57, you turned the job around and made another little chain. That's just to gain height, right? And now you are going to count from O on this needle. Put it on the second. O, first, second, and make a half high point on the second. Chain from the needle makes the half high point. And now you're going to do half a high point for each. For each base chain that you have. Then you're going to have 57 half high points here on yours. On this cord, oh, half high point. I don't think you're having a half high lunge on every basic carentina. Oh, I'm going to do my whole career. Half high points. Then I'll come back with you to show you how it turned out and how we're going to do it. That's when I get here, okay? So when I get here, oh, in the last little chain of work, I'll come back to show you. Look, whoa, I hit the camera. I dropped my 57 points here. Half high. Oh. All that string of chains, and I arrived here where we were already weaving before. So here I'm going to zoom in so you can visualize, oops. And let's stay here. Oh, so I did my 57, and I'm going to do it here. Oh, where I had a point, the high point here from the beginning of my career. I'm going to get into it and do a half high point too. Now I'm going to do it here on top of the ottoman. Oh, of this ottoman here. If I turn here, oh, I see that there is the stitch strap here. So it's here. Oh, at the top of the ottoman stitch. I make a half high point between one ottoman and another. I make a half high point. So here I'm resuming the half high points, okay? We're going to make careers like that again, so I'm picking it up here. I'm going to do another middle high point on top of the ottoman point. Oh well, Here the other one will be between one ottoman and another one right on top of the ottoman. The other point between one ottoman and another. So I'm going to do it this way, resuming the stitches. Oh, it's already joined here. Look how cute, huh? And I'm doing this on top of the puff and between one puff and another until I get there at the end of my career. And then I'm going to count to see if I have my 74 points, which is what I started my career there. I have to have the same amount of stitches here, okay? It's in this part here, get into this part that I've seen even being here. This whole part here, I have to have the same amount of points here as I am, right point? So I'm going to go down mine here in this way that I'm explaining to you, and then I'm going to tell you to check, and I'll come back with you when I get there at the end of my career to show you what we're going to do next. So let's put the means, high points here again, half high point, right? On top of the beanbag point. Oh, this time here on top of the beanbag point. And another, oops, Mandela, Asadinha, and another, between one puff and another. I'll get to the end of my career that way. When I get there, I'll get back with you guys. I've come down all the career, oh, as I showed you, and left the end to do together. So here, oh, I did it on top of the last puff. Okay, and now stop so you don't think it goes wrong. You have to do 1.1 half high point here, between the ottoman and the half high point. Then the number of stitches you have will be right. If you do it directly on top of this one, oh, where we tied the chain there, oh, it won't work, okay? So now it will close the amount of points, then pass one between a beanbag. Between the people and the middle and the high point here. Oh, right. Then the career will go smoothly here. So I have my 74 points here. I came back, I resumed, and now I'm going to go down on those little chains that I tied there before I turn my career around. I'll put my 57 points here, okay? I'm going to work normally. I'm going to leave this stitch here behind, which I then finish with an upholstery needle. I'm going to take it as the chain cord is turned like this. Oh, I'm going to take it by these little cords here. Oh, okay? But if you want to turn around and take it sideways, as you see fit. But you're going to have to insert here your 57 stitches on your string of chains. Oh, half high stitches on each chain here on your string, right? So now I'm going to put my high points on this cord until I get to the end, like I did here is from the beginning. Oh, to get to the end. So when I get here at the end of this string of chains that I put all my half high points here, I'll come back with you to explain the next step. I've reached the end of my cord here with 57 stitches. I made my 57 points. I'll show you how it turned out. Wait a minute. I'll organize it here on the table and I'll show you here. So you're staying. Hey guys, sorry, I dropped the camera. I'll organize it again. So this is getting here a sleeve and the other pretty little sleeve here. Now our career has become huge. Look, this is where all this comes from, and it comes here. So what am I gonna do? I got there at the end, I make 2 little chains, and turn my work around. I'm gonna do it now. I made here the 2 chains, and turned the work. I'll weave it here. It's only half a career high. Oh, I won't do this one. Let me put it closer. So here, oh, I won't do this one because I made the 2 chains that equal the point. So I'll go to the next one, right? because the chains are already equal to half high stitch, and I am weaving half high stitch over each base stitch now, until we get to the other side. So I'm going to lower this whole part of the sleeve. Oh, half high point. The whole part of the sleeve reaches here on the body of the blouse, and the other sleeve reaches here. In the end, I make 2 little chains, turn into a job, and make more careers of half high points, right? I'll make some here. I believe some are. 34 careers. I still don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to measure myself to see if everything will work out. So I'm going to do a few more half high careers here. The whole body of the plague is full of this gigantic career that we have now. And then when I reach the required size, I will come back with you. I tell you how many rows I have descended is how many centimeters, and explain the next steps, right? So, for now, it's only half a high point. There's half a high point in each middle. High point arrived at the end of his career, 2 little races, freaks the work, and does the means, high points. As we see me weaving here on the body of the blouse, until I get there in the braiding work, right? So I'm going to weave here. When I get to the end, I will come back to pass you all the details. So I came back here with you guys that I woven. It's 5 career high points. Look how it turned out. So after I put the chains on, this right here is the total. 5 rows of medium high points. Oh, it was like this. And let me put it here now. It was long. Here's another part. 5 careers. So I'm going to zoom in here so that you can visualize it this way after the chains. 5 rows of half high points. I'll give you the measurements. 20 centimeters if you're not using the same material as mine. 5, yeah. Let me see here better. Oh, that's it. 2 inches, 2 inches. Here were the 655 careers. Okay, now we're going to do one more career of braid stitch here, doing the poof stitches, right? So I reached the end here of the 5th career of Alps Resources. I made 3 chains, and I'm going to turn all my work now, and I'm going to start the stitch. That's the point, poof, right? That I'm going to do one more, yeah? I'm braided here on my blouse. I'm going to zoom in so you can get a better view here. Right now, I think you'll get better than me. I made 3 little chains now because it equals 1 high point. So let's resume the stitches as we were doing there at Ponto Puff. So this one here equals the chains. I'm going to jump this one and this one here in the 3rd. I'm going to make a high point, a little chain. And I'm going to go back here in the one I jumped and make a point. Poof, looped, come here. At the point where I jumped, looped once, looped. Oh, leave me alone. Oh, leave me. Put again that I think I didn't put it right inside the point. Looped once, looped 2 times, oops, looped 2 times, looped 3 times in the same space. I take off all the straps at once. A little chain, and I'll make a high point. Oh, I'll skip this one and I'll go on this one. I make a high pointed chain and go back to this one that I jumped and make my puff point. Once 2x 3 times, leaving it very loose. I take them all at once. A chain and jump. A good one on the next. A high point, a little chain. I go back to this one that I jumped and do the puff stitch. Launched once, launch 2 times, launch 3 times in the same space. I take off the 7 straps at once, I make a chain, oh, and it's getting like this. So I'm resuming here the PUF stitches. I skip one next volume, and that's what I'm going to do. I stitch a chain high, I go back to this one, I jumped and stitch, poof. That's what I'm going to do throughout my career. My 188 stitches that I have here on my needle. Now I will resume right to do my braid. So I'm going to do it here until I reach the end of my career. This step here, right? I jump, I do a high stitch, a little chain, I go back to what I jumped and do the puff stitch. And so I go to the end. When I get to the end, I'll come back with you so we can do it. It's the other side of the braid. I finished here the whole career of points puffs. Okay, now we're going to do here at the end of the career 3 little chains, and we're going to turn the work around. I already made my 3 little chains, and I'm going to turn here. All my work here is great now. Now we will do the second career. It is puff stitch, which will inform the braid of the piece. So I've already done mine. Let me organize it here. I made my 3 chains that here are worth a high point. Now I'm going to do it here. Oh, between one point and another here. Oh, I'm going to do a high point. I'm going to do a high point. I'm going to do a little chain, and I'm going to do a puff point here. Oh, opa, oh, between the puff point and this high point here, okay? Come back here. Between the high point and the puff point, once 2x 3 times, I take off all the little roasts, a little chain, and I'm going to make a high point here. Oh, the next one. Oh, here. A high point, a chain, and a puff point here, where I had made the high point earlier. Loop, looped once, loop twice, loop 3 times. I take off all the straps. Oh, take all the fibers here. I took off all the straps. I make a chain, and I'm going to make, oh, a high point here. Oh, between one people and another close. High stitch a chain, and here, between one people and another, I go back and make my stitch people 2 loop 3. I take off all my straps a chain. Oh, and yes, we go forming the braid. So, oh, here, where I had made the high point, I'm not going here on this high point. And here, where I had done the high stitch previously, I do my pop stitch 2 and 3. I take all at once a chain, and so I go to the end of my career, right? I'm gonna finish this whole career here, then I'll come back with you, okay? Pra. It's to come back here with the high points. It's kind of high points for us to weave a few more careers like this, and then we'll do more trances, right? So I'm going to finish the whole career. Oh, and here it gets really bigger, right? I'm going to show you that it gets like this. More open, oh. But it is because of the people point that it is more voluminous than the middle, high point. So no, don't worry, after sewing it will look very cute. It's the blouse. So I'm going to weave the way that I was explaining to you, right? Until I get to the end of my career. When I get to the end of my 188 points, at the end of my career, I'll come back with you guys so we can get back to the fit half points, right? I finished my second career here that forms the braid, okay? My second row of stitches, puffs that form the braid. So I'm going to show you how it looks. Look at the front and hear the sleeves. Oh, it was like this. Oh, I'm going to pull. It was arched like this, half rounded, but this is normal because the half high points are smaller and the puff point is larger, so give this tight. It stays like this. Oh, left over, but then it will adjust itself when sewing. It won't be ugly, okay? So it's normal. I think you're doing it wrong. It's really getting twisted. So this one. We're already rolling down our sleeves and staying down here. Look, I'll see if I can show you the whole piece here. Look what Lynn is getting, and now, oh, here's the piece. I can almost get all of it. Now I'm going to continue here. Oh, let's put the points a little high, right? Let's make 2 careers. Two careers, and then let's start digging the collar now, okay? But come on, let's get back to it. I'm going to approach here with you. Oh, here, I finished it, and then I'm going to zoom in to show it once again to remember how you put middle resumes. High points here at the point poof. It's over here. Oh, I make 2 is 2 little chains that equals a half. It's a half point A. That's right. I'm afraid of confusing the name of the stitches here. I'll turn the work over and I'll weave here. I'll just organize it because it's big. Then it gets more difficult and I'll put the half high stitches. So I don't do this one because it already has the 2 chains that are equivalent. Here is the half point A. I'm going to put a dot here. Oh, on top of the ottoman, half a dot. The half dot between ottoman and ottoman on top of ottoman. Oh, between ottoman and ottoman. So there's no secret, right? On top of the puff, and between one puff and another, coming to the end of this whole career, you have to have the same amount of points. In my case, it is 188. If I'm not mistaken about that, 188 points in total I have here in my entire career. So I'm going to do it here. Oh, I don't think I was filming. I was out between one puff and another. Up on Buffy. Then I'm going to knit my 188 stitches. It's good for you to take a look. See if you haven't skipped any. See if it's to resume everything right for yours. Blouse doesn't get crooked, right? So I'm going to weave my entire career here. Oh, this sleeve, the body of the blouse, until I get there. At the other end, the other sleeve, you're putting the half high stitches. I'm gonna weave 2 rows, right? Arriving here at the end of this career that I'm weaving, oops, with half high stitches, I make 2 chains, turn into work and make another one, right? Mid-career, high point, I'm going to weave my 2 rows and come back with you so we can start the collar pit. So I came back here with you that I did the 2 careers, O of the point, the middle, the high point, and I decided to do 2 more, right? So I'm going to do 2 more now. So after this braid here, oh, I'm going to do it. It will be a total of 4 half-point careers. I just came back to let you know that I did 2, and I'm going to do 2 more, which I thought would be good, okay? So I'm going to make 2 more careers here, half a point high, right? It is. So there will be 4 of you here. I will do it, and as soon as I finish, I will come back with you so we can start the Angola neckline. I came back here with you, which I have already finished. 2 more half-point careers, as I had shown. So I was left with 4 rows of half-high stitch, after here, the braid. Now I'm going to show you that we are going to make the collar hollow. Here I put the markers for the collar hollow. I'm going to show it here in my drawing. I'm going to bring it a little closer so you can see it. So here in my drawing we weave up here, oh, or we've already woven this part here, or until we get here that we've already woven this part and a piece here of the sleeve, or we've arrived here in the part of the space to make is the right collar. So we're right in this part of this one, almost halfway there. Now we are going to make this space here. So how are we going to make this space? First I scored. Yeah, I left 6 inches to make a cover. I thought 18 centimeters was fine for me. So how did I find it here to mark 18 centimeters? I'm going to show you here with my measuring tape that I have had. One marker to the other lets me get closer. From marker to marker, I'm 6 inches. I go this way, from one marker to the other, 18 centimeter collar. I didn't leave 20, I only left 18. So how did I make this measurement? I have my career total, 188 points. So I divided it by 2 and I got 94, which is half of 2. I found the midpoint at 94. I counted from the start of my career to here and placed the marker, which is the middle point. Then I wanted 20, it's 18 centimeters. What did I do to make it easier? I put it on my blouse here, for example, on the side with my measuring tape. Or I put my measuring tape from 0 to 18, I marked it like this. I counted how many stitches fit within 18 centimeters. Within 18 centimeter fit, in my case here, 24 stitches. So what did I do? I marked the middle, which is here. The middle of my work is here. And then I divided 18 is 12 on one side and 12 on the other. Then I put the markers, I went to measure exactly. 8 is 6 inches, right? So I found the middle, I put it here, I put 12 here, 12 there, I got my 24 stitches, 18 centimeters. So what did I do? I was here from the beginning of my career. Oh, it's very long. Oh, from the beginning. And I counted until I reached the marker. I arrived at the marker and I have 82 points. Then I went here on this side after the marker, until the end of my career there. Oh, look how great. Until I got here, I had 82 points too. So my piece is right. Well centered, collar, and I have the same amount on one side and the same amount on the other. This is important. You have the same amount on one side and the other. So it doesn't get crooked at the play, right? So it's very centralized. So do it this way, find the middle, and then through the size you want, you divide it here, okay? See how many stitches fit in the size you want. In my case, it fit 24 stitches. Then I separated 12 here, 12 there, and then checked each side. Here has the same amount of stitches. Can I continue? It's for my piece. So I found here the collar hollow. Now I'm going to start here. I'm going to weave 2 more rows of half high stitch, right? Here I didn't cut the filter while waiting. I'm going to weave it the same way I was weaving it. I'm just going to adjust it here that I made it very big and baked it so it doesn't fall apart. I get to the end. I make 2 chains like I was doing throughout the whole piece. I'll turn the work around here without it being too big. Now it gets difficult. I'll turn my work over here and I'll do half a high point. So I won't do this one because since it's worth the 2 chains, I'll go to the next one and weave here. Half a point high for each point here base. Normally, as we came weaving, I'm going to weave until I reach the marker I put here until I reach this marker here. Okay? So I'm weaving this whole career here. Oh, which is the sleeve, the whole sleeve, extension of the sleeve. It's very long. Oh, I'm weaving everything until you get here on the marker. When I get here at the marker, I'll come back with you to us so I can show you how we're going to do it there, right? So 25 my entire career, and I've already arrived here at the missing marker. Oh, to make the point before the marker, so I do it here normally. And the last one here before the point of the right marker I do. I'm not going to do it on top of that point where the marker is, which is this one. I'm not going to do it until here. I got here on the marker. I'm going to make 2 little chains, and I'm going to turn my work right, and I'm going to come back weaving another half stitch row. So here, oh, on the marker, I'm not going to weave the rest there. I'm going to come back here. Okay, I made the 2 little chains. Oh, this one here is the little chains equal to this point. So I'll skip this one and go for this one, right? And here I do my means high points until I reach the end of my career. So with this we already open the space here for our collar. Then we test the other side, right? Do the same thing on the other side. So you weave like this, in this way, half a high point until you get here. Yeah, let me pull here at the end of my career. When I get here at the end of my career, I'll come back with you so we can do the next career together, that we will now put a new braid. I've reached the end of my career, okay? What am I gonna do now? 2 chains is 3 chains. Now that we are going to make a braid running here, all the fibers here from Allen here, I made the 3 chains, and I'm going to turn my work around. Let me flip it over here, and I'll start working with the puff stitch to form the braid. So do you remember how we used to do it? To do the braid. So I'm not going to make this point here. That's because it already equals the 3 chains. This one I'm going to skip, and this one I'm going to make a high point. I make a high point, I make a chain, and I go back to the point where I jumped and make a point. Poof 3 times. I take off a chain together. I didn't catch every fiber of the chain. I'll skip that one and go to the next. I'll make a high point, chain, and come back here, where I jumped and do my puff point once very loosely, 2 times and 3 times. I take off a chain all at once. You skip this one and I made the highlight, right? Yeah, he jumped this one at the next high point. So you keep doing this until you get there on the marker again, right? Little chain. Then I will make the stitches puffs to form the chain until I get there on the marker again. Right? So I'm going to weave mine here until I get there on the marker. Then I'll come back with you to continue the next career here at Ponto Tranza. I arrived at the end of my career doing the first part of the puff stitch to form the braid. I get here, I make 3 chains, oh, and I turn the work to the right marker. Oh, I'm doing it here. I turn my work around, turn it all over here. Let me organize it so you can visualize it well. So I made the 3 little chains, which equals 1 high point. I will make here, oh, between one people and another, a high point, a chain, and the point poof. Here, oh, between the high point and this first point poof, once I'm baked twice. Loop 3 times, remove it all at once, then a little chain. Now I'll turn this puff point into a high point, a chain, and come back to where I made the high point to create my puff point. Loop once, loop twice, loop thrice, Take it all off at once, then a chain. I jump this, I go in this O between a puff and another high point, a chain, and I do the puff stitch here once, 2x, 3 times. I take off all at once a chain, and so I go doing O my puff stitch. Of course he's going to do a little twist here because he's a lot bigger than the half highs, but he's going to straighten out in the end. I'm going to do here my whole career until I get there in the end. Coming to the end, I'll come back with you to show you the next step. I reached the end of my career with my puff points. So I finished here, plus 1 braid. Now I'm going to make 2 chains, and I'm going to turn the work around because now I'm going to resume the means. High points. Let me turn over here. I'll turn my work over here and I'll come back with half the high points. I will accommodate him here as I had shown you earlier. So here, here I don't do it because there are already 2 chains, half high point at the top of the ottoman point, half high point between each ottoman, half high point at the top and between each ottoman. Of the ottoman and between ottoman and ottoman, I resume my half highs. So I'm going to do this career and one more, a total of 2 careers between braids, right? So I'm going down until I get to the marker here. I'm going to show you how it's getting here. I get to the marker, turn around and do one more career. So I'm going to do the total of 2 career half high points. I'm going to make my careers of half highs and come back with you so we can continue here in the play. So I came back here that I was weaving. Look at our half sleeves. So I had said I was going to make 22 career half point highs. I did 4 careers here, and I thought it got better because my pit got bigger here. Let me get the camera closer here. The hollow here in the sleeve got bigger. So I did 4 rows later here of this part of the chain, not the braid. Now, what am I gonna do? So I stopped coming down here. I'm gonna put this wire on hold. I'm going to put the marker so as not to break it up, and now we're going to start working on the other side. So, on this strap here that I was weaving, I'm going to put the marker and close it like this. No, it doesn't fall apart. Because we're going to resume weaving here on this right side. So don't cut the wire. When you're done here, put the marker or leave the... Gee, this little strap makes it really long like that because when you handle the other side there, don't disassemble it here. Okay? So I did 4 careers here. And I left the film waiting with the marker so that it wouldn't fall apart. Now what I'm going to do is work on this side here. Because this side was left without doing the other part of the sleeve. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to pause, I'm going to organize here and come back with you to show that now we're going to weave from the marker here to do everything we did here on this side. We're going to do on this side here, right? From the marker to here, I'm going to organize everything properly here, then I'll come back to explain it to you. I just want to show here, that this first career we had here, was the other way around. Okay? So here I have to be upside down. That other side, I hit the camera, so I turned my job, right? Because now I'm upside down. So how do I know that I have it inside out? With the right, this side up, there is no leftover thread, so it's inside out because my leftover, this little tip of the thread here, then we made the chain cord. If he's on the left side of the piece, it's because he's on the right, upside down, facing up. If this little point is on this side here, when it's turned up, your work is on the right side, so it's upside down. I'll start here. Oh, I'll get a new wire. So this one, oh, that came from the ball that I was working on. I left it on hold on the other side, and I'm going to put a thread here, oh, in a new novel. I'm going to take a new yarn now, and I'm going to start here, oh, after the marker, and I'm going to weave everything I made on this side. I'm going to weave from this one. I'll organize the wire here and be right back with you. So I came back here with my piece upside down, which was the same side I had started before. After the marker, I'm going to insert the needle, pull the thread here. You put the thread in the way you're used to. I usually do it like this. Pull the string and give it a little knob. Then you do it the way you're used to, the way you prefer, from 2 knots, and put this wire here so I can go, and then I'll hide it. Then I'll put my needle in here. I'm going to make a little chain to learn, and I'm going to make a half high point. Then we'll do it. Everything that has been done is on the other side. I did 2 careers of half high points here. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So I'm going to hold the wire, and I'm going to put a little high point for each base point here. Oh. And by attaching this thread here, I'm going to finish it. You're screwing up here, aren't you? Then you weave like this until you reach the end of your career. When you get there at the end of your career, make 2 chains back and weave to the marker. Oh. Now we're going to work from the marker there. Right? And back like we did on the other side. I will then weave this career. And 1 more. Exactly the way I did on the other side. Oh, that's what you're going to do now from now on. Oh, the marker. Raul, I'm going to give you this one because I only put it there to find the central point. So guys, you weave. Let me go a little further here. Oh, I started tying the thread inside out here as I had done here in the back row. So I had 2 careers of medium high point, the career of France, right? Of beanbag points, and the 4 rows of half high point. That's what I'm going to do on this side. So I bookmark text here. Oh. From the marker to the end here on the sleeve and back, I go and back doing exactly the same thing I did here. So you look at this side and you do this one, right? So I'll get mine down here. When I get there, at the end, I will come back with you to show you what the next step is, because then we will go back to weaving here with everything closed as we had been weaving here, because then the neckline will end here. It's from the front, so I'm going to weave exactly what I did here, right? Same amount of career, so it was easy. Now you look here and you go from the marker to the end there on the other side, right? So when I finish and get here, I'll come back so we can continue. I came back here and I woven this other part as I had woven here. Okay, so here it is. It stayed like this. So now we will close here to continue on the other side of the play. I'm going to show you here in the drawing where we went down. Oh, we've already gone down exactly half of the piece. Oh, half of the sleeve. And now we made the pit, which is this part here, right? Let me come back here a little bit here. So we made here the pit and half the mango. Oh. Now we will close here and continue the other half of the sleeve and this part of the body of the piece. So we're exactly halfway up the blouse, okay? So now what are we going to do here? Oh, if we continue the work, I'm going to approach here to show you. So continuing, what am I going to do? I left here, oh, 24 stitches, that gave my 18 centimeter of cover. So what am I going to do here? 24 chains. After I finish my other sleeve here, I'm going to make 24 chains. So you make as many chains as you can. It's just that it gave so much of what you left here from the cover. So in my case, 24. I'm going to make 24 chains. Oh, I've already made 123 and 4. I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to do the rest, and I'll be right back with you. I made my 24 chains here. Oh, notice that it doesn't go, it goes very stretched there. Oh, because after we insert the stitches it will increase normally, which is a little smaller. I've already made a little wider. Oh, my 24 little chains, and I'm going to take it here. Oh, at this last point here. Oh, which are 2 little chains. I enter the top of it. Oh, and I pull with a very low point. Oh, and I fasten this cord of chains. Look, I'm going to show you. I fastened it with a very low point in the first one, and now I'm going to cut this thread that we came to weave. This other side, I'm not going to cut it too big and then we finish it there. I'm going to make that little bow here to give a little kiss, okay? Then I cut the thread from the new ball I had picked up. To make the other sleeve, I'll show you. Now what's our play like? Woven, oh, half the sleeve here, the DA part, the other sleeve and the body of the piece. I'm going to increase it a little bit more like this. I think it gets easier. Oh, the sleeve, a half of a sleeve, the body of the piece here. The cave, oh, and the other limb. Now then, as I had shown here in the drawing, oh, we're exactly halfway there. Let's weave exactly the same as this other part here, right? So, what are we going to do here, huh? We will resume the points here where we had them. Remember, I had left on hold this thread here that I was weaving earlier. In the first sleeve I made after the separation here from cover. So I'm going to take the marker off and I'm going to take the stitches back here, okay? And I'm going to do everything I did down here when I started the manga, because the other one is, oh, I'm going to show you here. Here I did 2 careers. I do 2 there. I do a braid here. Okay, we'll repeat this work. Okay, so let's resume here. Oh, I'm going to take off the marker and I'm going to put my needle here. Make the 2 little chains. The work will come. And now I'm going to weave the whole row again. The 188 points are here. 188 points again. I'm going to turn the job over and start weaving. I'll be back with you, so here I'll turn the work. I made those 2 chains. Oh, and I'll resume with the means, high points, the whole career, so I'll do it here. And when I get there in the chains, I'll come back to show you so that it doesn't stay, is no doubt, right? I'm going to resume all the points, half high point on each half high point, okay? And then as soon as I get there in the chains, I'll be back. I came knitting the half high stitches and arrived here on the chain. So what am I gonna do? I leave this thread here and then I stitch it with an upholstery needle. Oh, the last one is missing here. I'm going to make the last half high stitch. And I'm going here on the chains. It gets crooked like this. You just need to turn it over and take the first one you made here. Oh, leave this thread forward here loose. Oh, and now continue here. Oh, these months, high points for the next chain. And you do the half high points until you get there. In the end, you have to have the 24 stitches. In my case, there's yours. You see how many stitches you left in the pit. And you have to do exactly the same amount to be well retained. Oh, it will stay that way, okay? So I'll do it here when I get to the end. I'll be right back with you. I went down along the chain, look. The last one is missing here, my stitch number 24. And now it resumes here, oh, on the first stitch. And I continue to weave my means, high stitches. Did you see what he looked like? I'm going now. Pause here a little bit and I'll get closer. What's it for? It is to leave it further for you to visualize, and I will explain now here to you how it will be done. It's from here on out, okay? So look what it looked like when we resumed the stitches here. Oh, and we'll continue the work on the play. I'm going to explain here for you. I'm going to zoom in so you can visualize it. How are we going to weave here from now on? So here, oh, I'll repeat everything I've done from here down. Oh, so here, oh, I've done before I got here. Oh, 4 careers of half highs. So what am I going to do here? 4 career half point highs. Then I'm going to make the stitch of the braid, then I resume and make 2 rows. Half a point high, right? I'll repeat. Half is 2, no. Sorry, huh? We are going to repeat all this much here. Oh, which is 12, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of half a high point, and another is another point of the braid. Then I'm going to do another 23, 4, 5 career with a medium high point, okay? Let's ensure accuracy in every step to avoid mistakes. And then I can leave 4.
Be the part of the body. Therefore, let's do everything from this point onward for the mango. Start the sleeve-o.
It's the other way around, right?
I'll get started. From here, repeating everything from here down until it gets here. So here, oh, I made 4 careers here. I'm going to make 4 careers. Then I did the braid. I'm going to do the braid. Then I made these careers here. I'm going to do it here. I'll do this. Then I'll do these.
That's it until we got here. Oh, in this career here, we added the chains, right, to make the sleeves.
So everything. So we are exactly halfway up the sleeve. Let's do it from here down. Repeat there, okay? So I'm going to do it now. I'm going to make my 4 career half point high. I already did the first one here. Oh, so I have 3 more to do. I'll do the braid.
I do these from here, I do the braid, I do these, and then I get here when I get here from
New, I'll be back with you. So I'm going to weave all this here. I won't record video, so the video won't be too long. So you see from here down what you've been doing. You guys do it from up here, right? So I'm going to do these now. 44 careers in total. Stitch braid these 6 careers. I think it is 6 to 12. 32. That's 6 careers. Right stitch. 65
careers, period. Braid it, right? It won't.
This point comes braid because we ended up here, so we repeat it until we get to this point. That much. Here of points. In this career here, repeating there that it is the other half of the sleeve, I will weave and come back to you when I finish. Get to this part here. Copying all of this here. Reverse there, right? I trust the explanation is clear. If it isn't, please rewatch the video and attempt again. Then repeat the steps. I might be repetitive, but this method ensures understanding. Now I will reverse and replicate the steps I have elucidated. Another half of the sleeve now. Oh. I plan to weave everything I have demonstrated here, continuing until I reach the designated point. There's this whole part here.
Oh, I'll repeat.
But the difference is that now it won't stay open here. Everything will stay closed, straight point like. How did we get down here? Oh, okay. So when I get here, oh, I'll come back with you. I've already gone all the way down. My sleeve. I'll just repeat what I did here. Downstairs, I'll repeat. When I arrive here, I will return with you to demonstrate how we will cease weaving them. Sleeves and weave. Just the body. So I returned here having finished weaving. This is the part on top of the sleeve. Oh, look at that. How does it appear? What's happening? It isn't complete here. Look, right here. Look, how come? Stayed in here.
The other sleeve that is folded over here.
So then, oh, I'm gonna get a little closer. More here?
What am I going to show you?
So I did it from here to low up and rising. Here I repeated, as I previously explained, I had done it. 234 different careers. I had 4 careers, right here. Then came the braid. I did the braid, then I did 12, 3, 4, 5, 6 careers here. Then I did 6 here. Oh, 12, 3, 4, 5, and 6 there.
This braid came here, I did it.
Here, then I proceeded to create these items.
Points here, these careers. Oh.
12, 34, and 5. What about in this place?
1.
234 and 5 in this case.
So everything I did.
From here down, I repeated from here.
Over there then.
Is the part of it ready?
Manga, and what am I going to?
Can you do it right now?
Oh, the wire's still here, and I'm proceeding to go further.
Zoom in here and...
I am in the process of completing this thread, hence my presence here.
I adjusted the loop that I had made big. I'm going to cut a thread, not much. It's quite big, isn't it?
What's it for?
Is there an auction taking place here?
Oh, and finish, I give the loop a little knock, and here it's closed. What?
The next step involves weaving once more. Only
this section pertains to the body of the blouse.
Oh, under the...
Let's get ready up here. So it's nearly finished. So let's proceed.
Should we reweave that section? Here, the sleeve. It's already finished. Oh, will it be a good sleeve?
White will stay.
Very beautiful, okay?
So what now?
What did I do? So when I wove in here, I put little chains on this side. And on this side, I put 50 A's and 7 chains for each sleeve. So I counted here, from the beginning of my career until...
Here's the marker.
It is 57, correct?
Stitches, I put the marker on my spot.
57. And now here, I have counted from there to here. 57 and put it...
A marker?
And now what am I going to do? I have 74 units left to work with.
Points.
Which is the same total I had when I started with 74. Therefore, I'm preparing to turn the fabric over. Oh, I was weaving.
Weaving.
Here I finished, here I cut the wire.
I'm going now.
Turning the correct fabric piece was quite challenging, so I turned the fabric around. I'll start here.
On the marker, I will tie a new thread.
Right, because I cut that one out there.
I'll tie a new thread, I will.
Weave from that marker, huh?
Is this simply a continuation?
Beginning from this point, I have completed these 5 units.
What's next for careers?
It is already Day's professional career.
Braid, then I'll do a braid here. Get started.
With the braid up here? Yeah.
But let's go. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna
organize here for what me, so that you can visualize well. Then they understood the logic. Now it will be
worked using the marker.
Until another one.
Marker that matches the same section here.
From the front of the blouse to the same amount. Oh, I think I did 20 and...
A few careers later, I'll tell you and pass it on to you.
Make the same amount you did there. And then we can cut the wire and then we go...
It's starting to.
The concluding phase, which involves a month of sewing here on the side.
With the sleeve.
What about the finish?
The bars, correct?
So I'm gonna pause the video.
I will organize the space here and now.
I'll be right back with you. So I came back here, huh? I bent here a little.
What are you for?
Visualize well then. After you.
Count, you can mark. If you don't have a marker, put one.
Paper clips are small pieces.
Wire.
Another color?
Or even a wool.
What are you doing?
Working diligently to complete the task.
Of
where and where.
You have to weave. So don't forget to spin the fabric. As I spun that time, for the time I showed you, I have already spun, and I'm starting here.
It's done, knock. I usually put the wire like this, but you can put it the way you're used to. There's no
Problem, I gave 2 knots here, I tied my thread, and I'm going to weave this thread from here that I'm going to take advantage of and hide it right, and I'm going to start now.
Here is to make a chain.
A little chain just to gain height and still.
Space that I'm going to make a highlight, I think it got a bit weird.
So I'm going to make 3 chains. I made 1, 2, and 3. Now I skip this one, I go on this one.
Here, and I make a significant point. Oops, what a moment. 1 significant point, 1 chain, and I shall return here for more.
What do I jump into and do?
The puff point, nearly twice over.
3 times, 3 times.
Oh, I don't perceive your response, so I'll eliminate all the loops immediately.
I just think...
Which I left slightly taut, I execute a precise action.
Little chain. I'll skip that one.
Next, I weave a chain and return to the initial position.
Here I am.
I jumped and I do the puff point one.
Once, twice, and thrice again.
I take it all at once. A little chain, you take back the intricate detail of the point, right?
Are you going?
Doing it in this manner means I won't film everything accurately, correct?
It is.
I believe there is no more.
Necessity, because we have already weaved so much.
Already, everyone already?
I think you got it right.
The intricate detail of the point. So now here, what's next?
What we're going to do is resume.
Oh.
I tied the yarn in this spot and started weaving, planning to weave up to the end.
Another marker?
Coming up.
Here on the marker, let me get myself organized. I'll be arriving at the other marker shortly.
I'm on my way, heading in this direction. Almost here, see?
Marker, I'll head back and cover the other side, all right?
This is precisely the test we need.
The form that's present here, and then you go...
Are you going to weave the same way as you are?
Right here.
We begin. Oh, we begin. The beanbag point. Go.
Until the very end, come back to emphasize the point.
Puff, and it is.
Completing the braid.
And it does.
Here in mine.
In this case, I have made 26 half-point careers.
I am.
I'll make these.
26 careers is going.
Finish the
Braid stitch.
And I'm going to finish those 26
careers. When will I arrive?
Here, at the end, I'll come back with you, so there's no
secret, huh?
I'll make a video.
That part then?
I showed it to you there.
Please complete the thread and mark here if it is correct.
Separate them now.
Sleeves.
And with the same amount
of points there, continue.
Here, correct? I believe it remained here.
That was well explained. And now I'll proceed with this part, all right?
So finish it.
It came from one marker to another.
Just a marker?
It's another. It's not all this long career here anymore because the sleeve is already finished.
So I
get to the end, okay? I'll come back with you to show you.
And we do.
It's the final part of the piece, so I would like to demonstrate it.
You that I finished, oh.
I remember I had started here with a marker.
The other I did here.
That row with dotted braids was done swiftly. Poof.
And I continued working on it here diligently. With high average points until reaching 26 careers, as I had done here at the beginning.
Oh, so that is how the blouse works, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's completely open and looks ready.
Now we'll go.
Shut her down.
So I didn't cut the cold. The wire is waiting. Of course, we will use this same thread here and crochet needle that we were weaving everything to close the
blouse. I will.
Show you how that,
Guys, are you closing?
Will I get the right from?
Feel free to ask me anything. I'm here to help.
What is the law?
Why all this leftover wire?
Here, oh.
From the cord of...
This is where I started the play.
You're on my side.
Left, so I am.
With the play.
With the right up, and I'm going to turn the other way around like this. Oh, because that's where I stay.
With the inside out of it, so I'm with the side inside out.
And I'll take this one, I'll organize it here. Oh.
I'm going to fold it real tight. Oh, and I'm going to sew it.
Now from here, Until then, the sleeve, and I'll demonstrate how I'll organize this. And I'll be right back to show. I am with the piece here well organized right now. And I'm going to take advantage of that marker that I had put. This is where I'm supposed to know. Where did I have it? What to weave. I am going to extract him from here and apprehend him, so my creation remains straight. A segment here from this part. Back here, where? It starts to sleeve and the body of the entire piece. Am I about to arrest you here or not? With the marker, you can easily get a pin too, no problem at all. I'm about to place 11 markers here at the knuckles. Let's see if it fits properly. Just to attach one side to the other. For what, at the time of stitch, ensure it doesn't get crooked or slide when we pick it up. So you're already adjusting your sleeve here too. Oh, pretty straight, point to point, step by step. Adjust the tip right over here and make sure it's steady. Put the marker on. Additionally, firmly holding the tip. From the sleeve, I'll get one. Another marker. And I'm gonna lock it up here, Ponta. With tip, which is very long the seam. When I eventually arrive there, oh, I'll settle here in the middle. I can get one more. It is because, according to we're going, sewing, he goes sliding, moving, and getting crooked. When it's really big like that, I usually do it that way then. I straightened my sleeve here. It's from tip to tip, right here. Okay, I managed to organize it precisely here under the... I placed the arm very tightly, fastened it securely, and here we go. Also tidy up the area too. Now let's begin sewing. I'll be supporting you here, oh. Here in the middle more, or? Minus, can I put another marker? And now I'm going to start the stitch here, like how I didn't cut it. Fio, I'm turning. So the piece. Since I didn't cut the wire, it's here waiting yet. I'll use it. It's him. To make a sewing, we're going to meticulously sew with very low stitches, all right? Let me check if I can organize everything here properly. I'm going to align it end to end and adjust the loop here, which did I do well? Making the stitches large to prevent it from falling apart as I previously demonstrated. So here I am with my noose. It's a regular wire I've been using. Weaving the piece. I'll put it here, Ona. First little chain here where I started. All the work. This way. Here past the wire like so. Oh! And it goes inside smoothly with a very low point. I'll continue in this manner. Oh. Will you see it? Where do you think, oh, that crossing from one side to the other is possible? Pull it here. Oh, and you sew it with a very low stitch. I'm going here, so you're going to see 11 spaces like this. I'm glad you didn't. Stay here. Very far away. But neither is it. Extremely close with a very low stitch. Oh, and it has to be. Ensure it's perfectly aligned, straight, don't let it get crooked, do you? Aruma fastens it securely. Oh, career after career. And it goes by, oh, on one side, take everything here. On the other one here, oh, pass the thread, make a very low stitch, and the seam becomes like this. Oh, with these chains from the lowest point. And look at the right, it looks really cute. You too. There you go, it ends up jumping the camera. So you go. Continue stitching like this. Yes, proceed this way indeed. This seam is quite straightforward. What if you? Doesn't making mistakes get easier? Disassemble and redo it. Why sometimes you happen to go. Sewing, sewing. You'll see it's crooked or you didn't get married there. The careers, the points, then you have to dismantle. It's much more practical to focus on the sewing process. From the point, very low because you look. For example, here, if you make a mistake, just pull here. Oh, that's it. I'll be right back here. How far am I? Where am I? I think it needs to break up. And I go and I do it again. So you go. Doing it this way, sewing, okay? Low point. Oh, there's no secret. But if you want to get an upholstery needle and sewing in that traditional way is no problem either. You can. It's just that I think so. So this one? Easier way?
especially since the seam is longer.
And there are people who don't either. You like to sew, no? You have a lot of patience then doing so.
It's definitely simpler, okay? So proceed in this manner. Observe the appearance of the stitching at this spot.
Doing?
At that location, taking the points low from both sides and creating a very low point, you continue, correct?
Go align well.
Huh? Then you go up, pass under the arm here and sew the whole sleeve.
Have you arrived here?
Finish up the sleeve at the end and tie off the thread.
Yes, you can trim and cut it off. Line and start.
On the opposite side, I will stitch the entire side, then I shall return.
With you?
Do you have the right to demonstrate?
The result?
And show.
How do we start?
On the other side. I'm done. All the stitching. Oh,
I stopped by. And eventually, after a long journey, I have arrived here.
now show it to you. I'm going to finish the thread.
So I sewed everything up.
Finally, I have reached here after much effort.
Tip of mango, okay? And here I am at no. Last point. What? That's what I'm gonna do, huh?
Adjust.
Here's the brief discussion I was referring to.
The sender was approaching from that direction.
This way?
Now I can trim the wire, ensuring I don't make it too large. Then I will proceed.
Take the upholsterer's ticket and pass.
Inside, these are the two ends that remain. So now I simply make that small nut.
Final, huh?
And now it's completely done.
Here then, are these left?
Are those 2 points really the same? Now I'm placing it on the upholstery needle and threading it through this side. And here it is, completely ready. Now look at my piece sewn on this side. I'm proceeding now.
Do the same on this side here.
I'll get everything organized and return to you shortly to work on this side.
Do the same thing. I'll take this marker out here.
What did I have?
Tagged where I had to.
Go down the back part and I'm going to organize here. Oh, this part here. With this one here, the same thing I did on the other side. Organize.
It's very confined here.
Oh. I'm going to place you under arrest. With the marker or one?
Is there any information on the pin?
Just to not have it?
Danger of falling apart.
Here it is lined up. I'm going to align the other parts. Oh, the back part. And with the front part here on the side of the piece, I'm going to put the marker here on this end.
Okay.
Here it's lined up. If I want, I can put one more here in the middle.
What now?
I'm going to line up here the mango part. Oh.
I'll arrest you.
The 2 little points, point to point. Oh well, put the marker on. It's stuck here, so I'll organize it. Oh,
did you get straight?
I can even put the marker here in the middle. Oh, everything is stuck. Everything is cute. Now I'm going to get a new wire, okay? And I'm going to start the...
I'll begin to sew right here.
Tip now before Mimi.
I started on the side E.
I'm going to finish it, right? Now I'm going to start here no matter where you are. Want to get started? I started down there before because the Theo, it was there, but I think I'll start there. I'll start here. Oh.
Pass this side.
So how do I do it? I'm going to get the marker out here.
I'll grab the wire, shall we?
See if I can get this any closer.
Here. Oh, in the first point here. Oh, insert.
Needle pulls the thread.
And tie it up.
Small hand in here now. The wire is stuck. I'm going to reinsert the needle at this point and over here. Oh, it's situated in this part right here.
I enter.
Theo, I'll just take it here.
Is that coming?
From the ball, I proceed here and continue.
Create one?
A small chain just to learn well like this. Now I organize and continue the sewing as I did on the other side, stepping between the stitches, pulling and making a very low stitch. I enter here between the dots. I removed all the batteries and it kept malfunctioning. Oh, step between the points. Well, here I cover a distance that you estimate is reasonable. It doesn't need to be exact.
Being too close, but also not.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Open it.
So much point, okay, so as not to get the piece brandished.
And they will.
On one side and then the other, you work the low point, continuing this way until you reach the sleeve.
And then you do it like I did there.
I just showed it to you.
That I cut the wire and
I pulled the loop there to finish, right? The seam will be like this.
then I'll go.
Finish up here.
When I'm done, I'll come back with
You and
let's continue with the finishing.
what does it mean to make the bar down here?
It's all the way to the wrist and the
Collar, are you very close?
right now.
In order for the piece to be ready, I need to complete the sewing and then I will return to you later so we can do the finishing touches together. I am fine with that plan.
Here with mine.
The blouse is completely sewn. Take a look at it.
It's beautiful.
Here, I'll place a mango here.
Organize here that stayed.
I got twisted. This is a sleeve.
That
The stitching is exceptionally beautiful, she is.
on the side.
Right out.
And we're going to start making the collar here now. Then I'll turn around. This here is the front part that has the pit.
That I'm going.
Turn E.
I'm gonna start working on the back of the blouse. Okay? Here on the sleeve, on the apology, on the collar, on the back.
I'm just going to organize it here and I'll show it to you.
How are we gonna start?
So here I am with the part.
Turn your back.
Proceed up right side and then out because I'm heading there.
Getting a point can be.
Here in the middle,
It's any point.
you can choose. I always do.
I like to start with the back.
Because the career amendment is behind and does not become less visible, so I will
Put on a movie.
new.
Here I securely fasten it.
Always just like that.
Form.
But what about you?
You can.
Do it the way you have.
Adjusting to it is quite manageable. I will provide you with 2 knobs and place this small tip here. I'm attempting to bring it nearer to indicate that the blouse is now complete and quite large.
And it gets hard.
To show,
So at this point here, I tied the wire this
I'm going to leave a little bit.
here and I'm already concealing it.
What about me?
I pull the wire here. And I'm going to make a low point on that one.
All right, let me provide you with a thorough explanation involving 11 loops.
Attach the wire.
Oh, I made a loop now, the thread.
Are you stuck?
Now, yes, I will make a low point.
And I will.
Ensure to make a low point for each particular point discussed here.
Of. Who has a career? Oh, let it go.
And I'll just press a little further.
1 point.
Let's make sure to make a low point at every point discussed here. Allow me to try to bring it closer. Oh, thank you.
Here, yes, here are the chains we had forged and made.
I mark a low point on every single one.
One of them, all right. I have already discreetly hidden the wire.
I'm going now.
Only with the harvest.
Here, oh, in this one. Nas.
Restrain the chains tightly.
And I will make a precise low point.
Pause the video and I'll do it until I get there.
Here at the bend, and I'll come back with you to show you.
How are we going to do each?
Curve.
What's in your collar? So I got here, at
the back point.
going to the side of the blouse, so I'm going to go in that last one.
Point, I do it. Oh, I enter here at this last point. I do it. I don't finish. Wait.
Where am I? I already did this here. Do you want to see it? E. That's it. Last stitch. Oh, the last stitch of the collar I do. It does not finish. And now I'm going to this one, the first one from the side. Now yes, I take off the 3 loops at once. I do this to round it up. In this corner, which is very square, right here. When we are weaving and oh, now as there is no point here. Is that the side? We'll put it where we can find it. Which has one space you put it. A low point, oh, here I go, sinking deeper into my thoughts. Become one. Little 4, let you guys warn me better. Then I'll come to understand the gravity of the situation. Oh, that side. Here you are. Place a very low point meticulously at each and every point. Pursue your career here, extending your collar much longer. Please remain silent, E. Did I arrive at? Last part here. Oh, here. He's already 11. Queen is a little turn. I had to go to the front, so I make my low point here. I don't finish it. I leave it here. I go first here. Oh, I do. I keep the 3 together. Now feel it all at once. I'll turn here again. Here now I have the front part. It's from the collar. So here it's easy because here there is the top of the point. Where we were weaving the blouse, it becomes easier for us to put the stitches. Oh, each stitch a low point. Oh, here there is no secret. So I'm weaving here a low point for each stitch of this part of the front, the neckline, the collar. When you get there at the curve, you do the same thing. Oh, let me see if you can visualize it well. I'll zoom in here. Oh. Have you noticed that you gave around here a closed one? So here you take the last and the first from go, the last and the first close together. Keep weaving a low point for each career here and here. On this other curve, also make the close together. The last and first of this career makes low points here until you get to where you started AA. The career, okay? I'm going to make my whole career this way, low points. When I get here again, I'll come back with you to explain the next step. I got here at the end, and I'm going to close with a very low point here. The first point I made is in my career. I closed with a very low point. I'm going to make 3 chains. What are they worth to a high point? And I'm going to turn the work now. I'm going to work, I'm going to spin, and I'm going to make careers. Oh, I'm going to turn and I'm going to work from here to here now, right? Guys, it's so big, it's hard to show. Look how it's much rounder here now. So try to bend it so it's very visible to you here. I made one as if it were a high point, these 3 little chains. And I'm going to weave a high stitch for each stitch. It's low that I did in my previous career, okay? So I make a high stitch for each stitch until the whole career, the whole collar, until I get there on the other side. I'm weaving my high stitches here. Oh, it's getting like this in this way. Then I skipped a stitch here. I'm going to have to dismantle and do it again. One high point for each point. I don't know if you can visualize it properly. Oh, it's getting like this. So I'm going to go through the whole career here, making high points on every low point I've made. Then I get here, finish my career, and then I come back with you to show you how we're going to do the next one. So I went all the way down the collar. I'm missing a point here for me to make. I'm going to make it now. and I'm going to close here on the third chain that I started. I'm going to make a chain now just to gain height. I'm going to turn the work. I'm going to turn the whole blouse now. Then I hit the camera. Come on, I'll organize it. Guys, when the piece gets this big, it's hard to show you. I'll turn around. Okay now, and I'm going to make raised stitches. Oh, I'm going to make the loop here. I'm going to wrap these chains here. Oh, I'm going to do it in the first one here, okay? So I go in with the needle here in the chains. Oh, and come out here. I make my high point in relief. Take it from the front, okay? I go to the next point. I make it in relief. Take it from behind. Oh, insert the acute here and go in front. Oh, the point. It stays there behind and make it in relief. Caught from behind, then, is that traditional crochet bar, which is a raised high point from the front, a raised high point, caught from behind. You do it like this. Throughout his career, one forward and one backward, and then I want to see, I think I'm just going to do this career here. I don't think I'm going to do it anymore. If not, the ball will get too high. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to test it, I'm going to wear it, then I'll tell you, okay? So I'm going to do it like this way. Oh, raised points, it's getting like this, okay? And then when I'm done, I'll be back. So I tell you, if I'm only going to do this relay career, I'm going to do another one. But then, as soon as I finish, I'll come back and tell you. So I finished that bread career. Stitch and relief on the front, on the back only one, and I'm going to cut the thread because it's already very small. My collar, then that's enough. One, if you want, you can make more. Then you have to remember that you have to rotate the fabric and do it on the opposite side, then you rotate and do it on the other side, right? It's to look really cute. So since I only made one here, I left a really big loop for. Don't disassemble. I'm going to adjust it here. I'm going to cut the wire now. So oops, let's look here. I'm going to put my wedge. I'm going to cut the wire. I'm not going to cut it too big. Then I'm going to finish it off. It's over there. I pull it here and I give it a little knock here. It's finished. Then we take an upholstery needle and hide all these lines that are left over. And look how beautiful it is already with A. Very cute collar, but I thought it was small, but I'm going to wear it to see if it won't be tight. Now let's get started. It's down here, the bar down there. I always have the piece on the right side, okay? You're on the right side. So I'm going to choose. You can choose where you want to start. It can be in the middle, in the back. I always prefer the back, like this, in the middle, in the back, or on the edge here. Then the seam of the careers, everything is here on the edge. A more discreet place to enter the middle of the blouse, thus appearing that scar seam of careers. So I'm going to choose this side here, okay? Let me just flip the piece. I'll start with the back. I'm with my back up and on this side here, right? And I'm going to insert the wires. I'm going to take it here and organize it, and I'll be right back. So now I'm here on the side. I'm going to insert my wire. So here you insert in the way you have used to. There's going to be a lot of wire here also. I can finish it off later. So I insert it here. I'm going to put this one over here, and I'm already weaving it on top of it. I'm going to make a little chain to learn, and I'm going to weave. Let me just think from here on out, because I'll have been on the right side. I don't know, guys, that we do things without thinking, so it gets a little crazy, so like that. I put the wire here. I'm going to pull all these wires here. Oh, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to nail them now.
or I'm going to throw them in here. Let's see. I made a little chain there just to learn, and I'm going to make a high point here. It's going to be a high-end career. Oh, one high point at every point here. This beginning is tricky because it's full of thread and seam from the start of the CT. Ready? Now I'll put each one here where we started the work. Then you have the chain straps, and each chain strap a high point. And I already pulled those threads here to hide them. So I'm making a high stitch around my entire blouse. Are you okay now? Let me just take this tip here, high point, so there's no secret. So we're going to do the same thing at the collar, a career, but there was a low point at the collar that was just around the collar. It won't be necessary here, so it will just be a high point career, and then the point is the highlight that we are going to do. Look how it's getting. So you keep doing this until you get here on the other side, a point, because here on this side is the top of the point, so it's going to be easy. Each top of the point a high point. When you get here, on the side of the seam, you can put one on, okay? So weaving, there are the base chains where we started here in sewing. You can put a high stitch, and then at the top of the stitch here, until you get here where we started, in sewing, right? So keep doing this until you get there. I'll weave mine here when I finish. I'll come back with you to show you the next step. I came back here with you that I made a career of highs. No, I did 3 careers of high points as I had shown you here the first. So I closed it here on the 3rd chain. I made 1 more. I closed it on the 3rd chain here. I made 1 more without rotating the work, okay? So I was going to start a bar now, but give up. Yeah, so we're changing our plans. Then it's time to develop the piece. You realize that it's not so cool because I idealize a blouse. Then halfway I change. I do one way, I do the other, and I started to make the bar, and I didn't like it. Since she got the bar for me, I thought it wasn't cool because she looked good. Let go of the idea with the bar. She adjusted it, then it looked cute. It had an effect like this. It got big on the belly, you know. It was too high, it was so tight that I didn't like it. So I dismantled the little A1 I had made from the bar, and we'll do it without the bar. I'm going to let it loose so that it won't taper here, and it won't have this strange effect that it did because it let go and tapered and stayed. No, I didn't like the effect, but maybe for your piece it turned out nice, or you like it that way. You can make the bar like we did here. Everything is folded here at the collar. That bar, 1 forward, 1 back, a relief forward, a relief back. Do the same as I taught here, but then on the bar, you don't need to rotate your work. You already do everything on the right side of the piece. You've reached the end, you close your career and continue. You close your career and you still don't rotate, okay? You can do it like this here on the bar, but I'm going to do it without the bar. So I did it here. I'm going to approach it too. Wait a minute. I did. Here was the last line of the play. So I made 3 more high points. 123. Here was A. When we started the work, I put 3. I had put 3 because I thought the blouse was too short and I like it more fulfilled. So I put 3. Then I would start the bar, so I'm not going to do the bar, and I'm going to do a few more high point rows to make the blouse more fulfilled. So I changed my plans midway through. I'm not going to make the bar, and I'm going to make it more fulfilled than I had initially left off then. maybe if you're watching this entire video before you start, don't leave this part here as short as you do before you start the first braid, okay? You already make it longer, for example, this much here. Then after you start braiding, you will plan better. I made mine and decided to change halfway, which was a longer blouse. So I'm going to weave here. I think about 7 more careers. To give you about 10 careers here, of high points, I'm going to increase it a little bit more, and I'm not going to make a bar. Maybe I'll do 11 crab stitches or leave it like that, just like that, Lisa, okay? I'll think about it as I make these 10 career highs. So you do it the way I showed. I got here in the end. I closed on the 3rd chain. I went up 3 chains, which is equivalent to a high point. Without rotating the work, I go here on the next point, high point, on the next point, high point. And I'm going to do this until I reach the length I want without a bar, right? But if you want, you can make the bar point there, which is 1 forward and 1 back in relief. Stitch on stitch. Text all around the blouse. When I get here, I close it, raise 3 more chains, and continue like this until the size. I'm going to do 10 careers. I already have 3. I'm starting 4th. When I reach the 10th career, I'll come back with you to show you how it turned out, and we'll give it a finishing touch here, but I also believe I won't do it. I'm not going to make a bar, it's the handle, sorry, I'm not going to make the handle to taper like this. Because I like this very wide effect that it got. Maybe I'll just do a finish here, yes, but I'll think while I do it here to show you. It's very clear not to do something then change it, so I'll think about the best way to do it here. I won't make a fist either. Okay, so I'm going to weave, and as soon as I'm done, I'll come back with you. So what? We finished the sleeve and finished the blouse. I finished here. I did 10 careers in total. 12, 34, 5, 6, 7, 89, 10, 10 high point careers. It was like a bar here for me. The blouse was like that here, right? Yeah, so I didn't cut the thread. I'll show you here in the career splices. So it's like I said before, if you want to make a bar, you can, or just leave it that way. So I won't do any finishing. I will leave only the top 10 careers in this way. Yeah, I'm going to adjust it here because I left it very long so it doesn't fall apart. So here it is. I'm going to cut the wire. I'm not going to cut it too big. Then I do the finishing. Cutting here gives that little loop to tie a knot. Then the bottom of the blouse is finished. Now we need to finish this. On the sleeve, on the tip, because it was like this, without any finishing. So since I want it really wide, I'm not going to use a fist to taper it. I'm going to do 2 high point careers only, right? And am I going to stop like I did down here like this? So I'll always tie the string to the right side, right? So I'm going to take here the seam part of the sleeve, underarm part, where I made the seam, right? So the right side out, and I'm going to zoom in here so you can visualize it well. So I'm with AA sleeve here on the right side out, and with the seam part here, here I'm going to start. I'm going to tie a wire, then I'm going to insert the wire here. And I'll tie it up. So here, after I tie the thread, I'm going to take these little stitches here. They're left over from the seam at the end. That's when I dropped my sleeve. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to finish her off, okay? So here, Oh, I'm going to insert the thread right into the seam where I tie it, and I'm going to pull it over here, and I'm going to do 3 chains to equal a high point. I'm already going over all these knots here. 11 chain 2 and 3. I'm going to leave these little knots here, and I'm going to make a high point in each career. Here, oh, half high, lying down. Oh, here I pass one. Oh, I'm going to the next row and make another one, and I'm tying these threads here. Oh, to finish it off, I'm already 31 that I finished the blouse, one from the sewing and the other that I tied to start the work. So I go from career to career. Oh, here's another one. I put a high point, each row lying here a high point, no problem. If it's spaced like that, it will look beautiful. Oh. Here another career, another high point. Oh, I'm spinning and I'm doing, oh, here a high point here. Oh, where there is the braid, here I put a high point. Oh, I'm going over here. Oh. One point AE, so we put one in each career. We put a lock on the NA, on the sleeve. Oh, here, another career, another high point. Oh, another career, another high point. And that's how you'll get to the other side. You should check how many stitches you put here to put the same on the other sleeve, so as not to make a difference, okay? But there won't be an error if you correctly place one in each career, as I'm doing here. Oh, oh, one in each career is here. Oh, go another, oh, like this. So you do this until you pass the entire width of the sleeve, okay? Until I got here. On the other side, where you started, I'll weave mine this way. Oh, putting a high point on each row lying here from the sleeve. And then I'll get back to you when I get here at the seam again, where I started, right? So I'm going to go downstairs and be right back with you guys. I arrived here on the other side, oh, doing the way I had explained. A high point in each career here. I will close in the 3rd chain, oh, with a very low point. That's it. I finished with a very low point. I make 3 chains, which equals the high point. I'm not going to turn the job around. I'm going to continue from here. And look, guys, since you've already given a funnel shot, let me leave you further away so you can visualize it. Look how he's already given a funnel. Oh, just putting the high points is all. Just putting the high points, one in each career. You've done a little bit of work here, haven't you? So now, after I closed my career, I make a high point, and I'm going to make a point without taking away the work. I continue from here to there even. Oh, making a high point in each, its base point here. We're going to do is 3 career highs like this. So this right here is the second one. So what are you going to do? You will do this here, arriving. The entire side of the sleeve has arrived here. You close the 3rd chain, make 3 chains to go up and start here, as we started here without rotating the work. It makes 1 more high point career, so we have to have 3 careers in total. I'm going to do my 3 careers in total. I've already done 1. I'm starting the 2nd. I'm finishing the 2nd. I'm starting the 3rd. When I finish the 3rd, I'll come back with you to explain the next steps. I then finish the 3rd career, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And no, she has to already have a good AA funnel that closed a little more, and without decreasing any point. Okay, point after point. Now I'm going to do some decreases with low point
So I'm going to do, I close my career with a very low point. I'm going to make a chain, and here, oh, next time, I'm going to make a low point, next time, a low point, next time, a low point. 3 low stitches. Now I'm going to make a decrease. So I put needle here to make a low stitch, but I don't finish. I leave it here on the needle. I go to the next stitch. I do it 2. Oh, and I get 3. Now, yes, I take the 3 at once. So I made a decrease here. I will make 3 low points. Normally 1, next one more, and next one more low point now. In the next one, I will do with the decrease. Oh, so I put a point here. I do not finish. I go to the next point. And now, yes, I take the 3 rachadinhas at once. I made another decrease. I go to the next point. Oh, I make a low point. In the other, a low point. In the other, a low point. In the next one, a decrease. Oh, I step 1 and do not finish. I go to the next one. I do now, yes, shoot. All 3 kids here at once, okay? So every 3 low stitches that I do a decrease to close that fist a little bit more, right? So there I made a decrease. Now I will do 3 low points normally. Let's go 1.2 points. 3 normal low points. Let me take off my sleeve here, and next time I will do it with the decrease I insert and don't finish. I'm going to the next insert and I don't finish with the 3 pitches. Now I take them all at once, go to the next one and do 3 low points normally. So every 3 low points I make a decrease until I get there at the beginning of my career again, right? So I made my 3 points here, now a decrease. So I keep doing it that way until I get there at the beginning of my career, right? So when I get there, I'll come back with you guys so we can make the next career together. It's next and last. I reached the end of my career here. I made my last low point, and I'm going to close with the very low point here where I started. Oh, here I started the top of the point. And here I'm going to do my lowest point. Here the same thing. I'm going to do 11 little chains. In this first point, I make a low point. In the next low point, I already made 2 and 3. Oh, each point here, I make a low point. And now the next one will be with diminution. Here is the same thing we were doing in our previous career, okay? Every 3 points, let me just organize here that everyone is cheering my limp here. So for every 3.1 decrease to 3 low points, 1 for every point, 3.3 low points. Now the next one is with a decrease. Enter here, I don't finish. I go to the next one, and now yes, I take off these 3 loops at once, only a decrease, 3 low stitches, normal, 12 and 3 normal. And then I do, the decrease is, then we can cut the thread and finish the blouse. I'm gonna end this career like this, and I'll be right back with you guys, okay? I reached the end of my career. Oh, at the first point here, I enter with the needle and close with a very low point, and I can already cut the thread. I won't cut it too big. Then I'll finish it off with upholsterer's glasses, cut here. I give it a little knock and my blouse is ready. Look how you adjusted your fist, okay? Yeah, the blouse is finished now. I mean, only the finishes are missing. Let's make one here together with you, okay? So I put the upholsterer's cure on this little end of the thread that I cut inside the sleeve. Here I'm going to pass these wires here. Oh, like this, inside the little dots I've been making. Oh. Here, then I can go down here, you go inside. Oh, I'll pull the tip. Oh, this one I can come here. Oh, it's short, I cut it shorter. Oh.
You go down, you go through until you think you can cut it. If it's already good, if you want to go through it all. The seat. But inside the piece is on the inside side. You go hiding, oh, I came here, there. If you don't have an upholstery needle with your own crochet needle, you can pull this thread inside and hide the tip. Take off the needle, oh, it's like this. Well done, and no thread appears here, okay? So I still have this tip. If you want to cut it, you can. I'll show you how to do it with the needle itself for those who don't know yet. Oh, for example, I enter here O with the needle. You can even take a needle thinner to make your work easier. I'll take this one here. Oops, I hit the camera wire here. I put here O, a thinner needle, and pull wire O. And I'll pass. I'll walk with him, okay? In case you don't have a knitapessa needle, oh, I walked with the thread, then I come here, oh, I pass here. And so I'm going with all the threads, oh, here. Oh, I'm going to walk with all my threads until I get there at the end, and you can cut off this little tip that was left. And look, here it was very finished. You can't see the thread, oh. That we will arrange and cut later. So this is what you're going to do with all the little bits that were left of the entire piece, right? Now I'm going to show you the end result. I'm going to stretch the piece here so you can see how it looked after finished. Here is the final result of the blouse. Look at how beautiful she turned out. She gave a very big blouse. Look at the cuff. How did it look? This is it. I haven't finished all the wires yet, but now I'm going to give you the measurements, okay? I haven't measured anything yet, and I'll give you the measurement right now, but the piece is finished then. In length, the blouse was 54 centimeters long in total. It's from up there to here, 54. Now I'm going to measure the side for you. Her width is almost 53 or 52.5 centimeters. So it's 54 centimeters long, 52.5 centimeters wide. I'll measure the sleeve. There's a sleeve here. From under the arm to the wrist, it's 44 centimeters long. From the cave there, oh, under the arm. Okay, why is she coming? We went straight down. It came from the collar, but I measured here under the arm to the tip, 44 centimeters of sleeve. So this is the blouse from this video lesson. I hope you liked it, okay? If you liked, leave your like, subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed, and be sure to activate notifications so you know when I post a new video. And until the next video lesson,